Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. I guess that works. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks for tuning in. This is a call-in show, so I'm going to try really hard not to respond to the chat room. No offense, but if I get lost talking in the chat room, I just want to talk to people on the phone about Jeffrey Epstein and taking down elites. And wouldn't that be awesome to see some other big old pillars fall? Because you know, these people get away with murder and child rape on a daily basis, and it's just not cool, you know. And then they're busting us for like smoking weed and stuff, you know. So I thought that we'd have a little conversation about that. If you guys want to talk about that, I'm here. The number is 805 Mox News. That's 805-669-6397. 805-669-6397. And thank you very much for tuning in. I am, this is my 15th year on YouTube. This particular YouTube page is this close. We have 9,990 videos on this one Mox News YouTube page. So probably by the end of the day, we'll have 10,000 videos on this one YouTube page. On this one Mox News YouTube page. 10,000 videos. So take that, YouTube. You know, YouTube doesn't like that. You know, YouTube doesn't like me. They've tried so hard to get rid of me. And I'm still here, YouTube. So, and I only am still here because of the generous people like yourself who have given back to Mox News. You know, 10,000 videos on this one YouTube page. I published well over 65,000 videos on YouTube. And it's been quite a ride. We've been published on the front page of every major news website on the internet, which is pretty cool. You know, I mean, there's not many journalists who can actually say that, right? And we've done it with good spirit and freedom. I mean, freedom being first and foremost, freedom of speech, freedom of you know, of just freedom. I mean, it's been about, you know, we haven't conformed, you know, we haven't stopped posting videos about this or that because those people don't like that kind of speech. And, you know, it's just me doing what I know how to do that seems to be the most benefit to this community. So that's where I'm at. Again, this is a live call-in television show. Not television, YouTube. I used to do television shows. I used to do live television shows. 805-669-6397 in case anyone's interested in calling. And you know, that's where we're at. Because I thought we'd have this conversation one more time, you know, at least try and do this. I don't know if this is even worth doing because I try and do this and nobody calls, and then some troll calls, and then some other troll calls, and I wind up getting frustrated, or there's trolls in the chat room, and I wind up getting frustrated. I'm just like, fuck you. And I don't want to be like that, you know. I mean, I can just come out here and make videos and talk to the camera if that's what you guys want. Is that what you want? Is me to just come out and talk to the camera, or do you want to, or do you think that interactions like, you know, a live call-in show are you know, worthy of anyone's time? Because it's really hard for me to know. I like connecting with you guys in this way. When we do get nice people who call, I really like connecting with you guys in this way because some of you are so smart. Uh, Most of you are so smart. It's why you're on this page. It's why you came to Mox News, because you're an intelligent person seeking knowledge. Okay, you didn't come to Mox News because you wanted to watch girls with big boobs jumping rope. Okay, you didn't come to Mox News because you want to watch some fool set himself on fire or face plant or do some other idiotic thing. You came here because you were looking for something intelligent. And I just happened to have posted what you were looking for. Hello, caller.
Hello, how you doing? This is Chris Cody.
Cody?
Yeah, we've talked before.
Yeah. How are you?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
I am.
I didn't have a specific subject matter to talk about, but I was wondering what you wanted to talk about.
Well, I'm just wondering if you think that the Jeffrey Epstein case will lead any higher up.
Any what?
If you think that Jeffrey Epstein being arrested and being charged with sex trafficking will lead to any other elites that we all know he's extremely well connected to, you know, being taken down.
I think it's a good question, and I don't know, of course, but I would think so. There's definitely other things to uncover, and there's just so many eyes on it. They imagine somebody's going to come forward, just if for nothing else, for the spotlight, you know.
Yeah. Well, it should. I think a whole lot of people are going to come forward. A whole lot of women are going to come forward, and
yeah,
that,
you know, I wonder how many.
I hope that they're just one after another paraded onto TV, man, because that would really be an interesting an interesting few months at the very least.
Yeah, well, the guy. I guess apparently the guy needed a fresh person, a fresh child every single day.
You know,
That adds up.
that adds up. That's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of people involved, and I think that you're going to see a lot of women come forward. I just wonder how many of them we're actually going to get to hear from. You know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, who's to say, man? This is crazy that we didn't hear about how far this went until recently. You know, we don't hear much about child trafficking stuff.
Yeah.
Considered to be a conspiracy theory a lot of the time.
Right. Well, that's because it seems that so many elites, you know, very wealthy people are involved in it, and often really old money, and because of, and they control the media and stuff like that. You know, so that's why we don't hear so much about it, I think.
Do you think it's just because they get bored since they have all the money, they can do anything except for that, so they want to do that?
No, I think that it's a matter of the rules don't apply to me, and let me prove it again and again and again. I'm better than the rest of them.
I just don't know. I don't know if the general population has so many pedophiles amongst us.
Well,
comparatively.
Yeah, I think that, you know, the old saying is, you know, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, you know.
Yeah.
So I just think that, you know, it's people are, I've said again and again, you know, I don't like rich people, you know, and it's because they act like the rules don't apply to them, and then they have their own rules, you know. If you're ever actually around them, you have to, like, they'll tell you their rules, and you have to, like, obey by them. It's really strange.
That is really strange. I haven't been around that really, and I feel fortunate about that in a way. Well, it's kind of nice to check that world out some. I mean, I worked in Hollywood for a few years, but that wasn't like living in wealthy houses.
Yeah. Well, I just met people. It's been a long, strange ride for me, and I've met a lot of different people, and some of them were very wealthy, and you know, and they were decent to me, but you know, it's just the thing is a lot of them they don't seem they could make the world a better place. The reason it boils down to this, okay? The reason that we're not going to have, you know, killer whales or orcas in the next generation for the next year is because it costs too much for the rich people, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that the oceans don't get cleaned up, and that's the reason that, you know, the planet's going to shit because our priorities are me, mine, and as long as I have mine, then why the fuck should I care about the ocean?
Do you think the wealthy should be taxed at a higher rate than the general population?
I think so, but it's not. I don't really. I think that I hate government. Okay, I just fucking hate government. Every government that I see is against the people, is against freedom, and just waste money by the buckets. You know, and
So no legislation, pitchforks instead of legislation, you say?
now you're talking my language, man.
You know, it's going to happen eventually. So if things come apart the way they're, you know, the trajectory right now is going to be way beyond the Great Depression. I think the wealthy will be in the crosshairs.
I think that there's only so much that people can take, and when you try and push them past that point, and it's obviously getting really close to that point. You know, people are the collapsing middle.
We're definitely at that point.
Yeah, the collapsing middle class and all that. You know, it's just as soon as everybody's kind of in the same boat, I guess maybe then we'll see a little bit of. It's again, that's that thing I'm talking about. Is, you know, as long as I have mine, I'm good. You know, that doesn't work.
Right.
You know, you really
if the people who are in the know enough can bet into the stock market, knowing things are going to crash, and they can bet on that and make more money while everybody loses their ass.
Right. Yeah. No, the wealthy aren't going to get hurt at all by anything that happens short of a giant meteor extinction. You know.
Yeah. And enough people rising up, maybe.
Well, I think that
you know what, you're gonna have to share.
I think that if enough people rose up, it's just a matter of the government is so corrupt, you know, and that's the reason I'm not saying, you know, tax. The government's so horrible, corrupt, and I honestly believe there's probably plenty of money to make happen great infrastructure and you know, protect everybody's rights and make sure that there's not hungry people or homeless people, and even make sure that people have quality medical care. I really think there's enough money already for that. It's just all this fucking bullshit that we do, you know, in overseas. All this money we spend overseas, outside our country, is the reason we can't afford health care for everybody. Reason we can't afford good education.
8,000 plus military bases.
Yeah, well, there's got to be way more than that, I think.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I said or more because at least 8,000.
Yeah, it's just
Probably
I mean, that's just part of it, you know. I mean, there's a whole bunch of you know, diplomatic stuff and all this. We got so much stuff going on overseas that if we just cut all that stuff off and just said we're going to take care of America, there'd be plenty of money, you know. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that the way that empire fails is by overreach. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're overreaching in the whole world, trying to take the last bits of everything we can. And that's what the end of empire, you know, they're saying, like Rome kind of went out that way, trying to overreach, you know, taking the horses out to the furthest edges to collect taxes where it's not worth even collecting.
Yeah, they can't get enough of that. It's I don't understand it myself. I don't see how it benefits us at all to be in Afghanistan, Iraq, anywhere, Libya, you know, Somalia. How does that benefit us in any way?
Well, the weapons industry, they get wealthy and they pull the shots. They're the top lobby in Congress, like the weapons industry. So they call the shots on whether they go to war for themselves.
Well, yeah, all they have to do, if they're the industry, all they have to do is sell a bunch of weapons to one side of any country in the world, and that next thing you know, next thing you know, there's a war. And then we have to go get involved because we can't let the war go out of. We're the world's police. We got to be involved.
One of the great tricks that they have now is the full-on saber rattling, make everybody scared, so both sides buy weapons from them.
Right. We're going to war.
The first guys in the CIA made that. The Dulles brothers were all about brinksmanship. They wanted to keep things at the edge of nuclear war. And I never figured that out until I went, oh shit, they had their hands in the industry.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right, man. That's where we're at. It's just this constant, the fear. We could all be dead in 45 minutes. We don't want the warning to come in the shape of a mushroom cloud. It's just all bullshit. And it's clear they're going to start a war with Iran. I'm pretty sure. So,
well, there's been a couple things that I've checked out about that, and it's pretty interesting on it.
Yeah.
One of them is that I read this article about that they offered through Oman. Trump had a message delivered through Oman to Iran saying, "Hey, just let us bomb a few sites, let's a couple here, and we'll pull back just for so we save face."
Yeah.
And he said, one bomb comes down on our sand and all missiles fly and don't even come close.
I'm telling you, man, one bomb lands in Iran and the price of oil immediately goes to $200 a barrel.
Yeah, it's going to crash the stock market when they do that, if they do that. Now, here's the good news. They might not do that because Trump knows that if they do that, it will destroy the stock market. It will destroy him as a president. He will not get an next term.
Well, that's why he's going to wait until after. That's why he hasn't bombed yet. He's waiting till after the election to give John Bolton his happy re-election.
But he can't get it if he's not re-elected. Then he can't do it at all. Then
boom. So there's the key, people. See, Drew is a very smart guy. Go ahead.
So Trump's stuck between his neocon Zionist guys, Adelson and all the PNAC guys, President for the New American Century. If people don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Check out PNAC on Wikipedia or whatever. It's all there. But Bolton and all these guys are really close with Israel, and Kushner is Trump's son-in-law, and he's like really used to him and Bibi Netanyahu used to sleep in the same bed. And I'm not even making a joke. I mean, that's literally the case.
Oh yeah.
So he calls him Uncle Bibi. Yeah.
Wow.
They're literally like family. And so, so they're close with the Israel lobby. I forgot what I was even talking about.
It's just so overwhelming. Go ahead.
So he's stuck between the neoconservatives and the weapons industry, and one wants to bomb, and the others, those are together. But then if he goes to war, it will destroy his presidency. So he's got to pull back out slowly and try to save face. That's the only way that he can even hope for re-election is to not go to war and seem like the good guy, which is, I think that's what that whole thing was theater about. I had 10 minutes before I was going to press the button kind of thing. I was like, that's so theater. That's theater.
Yeah.
It's like, look, Trump is the hero.
Right. I didn't kill people. I didn't start a world war. Yay. I'm the good guy.
I really think he doesn't want war deep down, but I think he'll still do it. Like when he bombed Syria, he didn't bomb any man's sites. He didn't kill anybody at all.
Well, it's one thing to say that he doesn't want war, and it's another thing to put John Bolton in charge of intelligence on Iran. You know what I mean? That guy is just as bad as it could. You couldn't put a worse person in that position.
That's right.
So
really good.
Yeah. So it's hard, especially if you don't want war. So because there's nothing that John Bolton wants more. Yeah, John Bolton wants nothing more in the world than war with Iran. And that's me.
Last chance too.
That's me quoting Tucker Carlson. So we're clear, all you people who our Fox News viewers.
I know, it's pretty crazy. Look at this. Tucker Carlson's working for whom? What, Rupert Murdoch? He's one of those icons. He's one of the guys that's with Bolton and those guys at the Project for the New American Century. So how does that work?
Well, he just called Bolton a tapeworm the other day.
That's what I mean. His boss is in with Bolton. So what's happening there? How can he have a job?
I think that he's what you call the controlled opposition. You know.
Perhaps. Huh?
Make it look like we're not the big warmongers that everybody says we are.
Right. Yeah, they're trying to gain public support before they do any attacks too. Which there's going to be a lot more of a media rush for trying to scare everybody. Something is coming. I feel.
Well, when you know the whole world,
bigger false flag.
When you know the whole world, right? That's the scary part. Is that these people don't play by any kind of rules. You know, they can't wait to have the next false flag. I mean, John Bolton literally called for it in the PNAC document. You know, hoping for a new Pearl Harbor. You know, so
it was one year to the month before 9/11.
Yeah, all we need is a new Pearl Harbor, and we can have our new American century. You guys have
the 7 countries in 5 years.
Yeah, right.
So that's those 7 countries that the PNAC guys were planning out.
Yeah,
and so they planned on doing Iran. That's the last one on that list. It's part of the plan. They've been 20 years deep in this plan. Bolton's not going to get another shot at this after this administration. He'll do everything he can to go to war. He'll do Trump's on his way up.
Anything possible. And I think he's in this position where he has a lot of power to make a lot of different things happen.
Yeah, and he's sneaky. He's evil.
Evil. Evil!
It was like in 2002. He went to the Brazilian prime minister and told him, "You're resigning within 24 hours," because he was in the way of, invading Iraq. He was in the way of it somehow. And he said he demanded that he just resign in 24 hours, even though he was just reelected for another 4-year term, like unanimously. Everybody loved the guy. So he resigned because John Bolton told him, "I know what your kids are."
Yeah. That's exactly right. I guarantee you that's exactly what he told them. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. That's just like, so he resigned within 24 hours. He's just a dark person. I mean, it's probably the most evil person we've ever seen in government.
I just see it so corrupt from top to bottom, man. I really wish it was different, because you want to. It's like with the police. You know, we want the police to be the heroes that they keep being portrayed as. We want them to be that. We want them to be the people that we rush to in our time of darkest moments, when we need our help. But we're terrified to do that because we know the second police are involved, everybody's in danger.
Yeah, then it becomes a gang thing. They all call them on you, whatever. It's a weird kinship that they have, let's say.
Yeah, and that's
has too much power is the thing.
And that's the way this government is. It's like we want the politicians to be heroes. We want the president to be a man that you can tell your son to look up to, that you hope one day will grow up and be just like him. But I mean, anybody.
We don't have that now.
I really don't hope that anybody's son flies on Jeffrey Epstein's private plane. And I certainly hope they're not there with Epstein and Trump at the same time.
And what about Clinton? 30 trips on the Lolita Express?
Yeah, that's really Clinton should be fucking looking at a private island and not ever coming off of it again.
Yeah, well, he stole enough money from the charity foundation that they have to do that.
Yeah, no,
it's like 500. I mean, just tons of money missing from that.
Yeah, it's so weird too. You can just look at those people and see that they're soulless. You know what I mean? They just look like they're eaten up from the inside out.
Yeah, they're puppets, but they're greedy puppets. They're like Chuckies, only.
So horrible. I just don't know how it got this way. How so much corruption snuck into our world. How did everything become so slimy? I mean, and it's not something new. I know when I was like 16, right? I had this wonderful girlfriend, and she said she would just do anything for me, right? But and I believe she would, but she was born to have babies, and I could never justify bringing a perfect, beautiful little life, pure little thing into this slimy world. And I knew that at 16, I knew that. So
Yeah,
nothing really has changed. Maybe it's just become more overwhelming because we have so much more, constantly bombarding us information. You know, I knew it at
yeah,
16, and that was quite a while ago.
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, Drew. Thanks for calling, man. It's really good to hear from you. It's Drew, right?
Cody, but okay.
Wait,
No,
Cody?
yeah,
Hey, Cody. It's good to hear from you, bro.
Chris Cody, but
Okay,
also
okay,
good to talk to you, man.
okay, Chris, Cody.
Take care.
Talk to you soon, I hope. So just in case anybody else wants to call, the telephone number is 805 Mox News or 805-669-6397. This is a call-in show. I will not be responding to the chat room because I get too distracted. And then if I'm talking to the chat room, there's no reason for anyone to call. So if you'd like to continue the show, it's 805 Mox News. Please feel free to call. Operators are standing by. And Cody was awesome. Thanks so much for calling, Cody. It's always nice to hear from you, brah. And Dwayne, nice to see you too, Dwayne. So I'm just wondering if you guys think that any of the other elites will be taken down by Jeffrey Epstein, because someone asked if I was going to do a call-in show on this subject. So I thought, okay, I'll do a call-in show on this subject because clearly there's some interest in that. And it's an interesting topic. I'd love to see some elites go down. I'd love to see some Clintons go down. I mean, I'd love to see some Trumps go down, Epstein's got everybody in his phone book. Hello, caller.
Michael Knight.
How are you today? Dwayne.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Dwayne. Nice to hear from you.
Hey, it's great to call your show.
How is things up north?
They're excellent. We finally got rid of a lot of the water, got a ton of our garden in.
Awesome.
Yeah, busting my ass on all these heat days. Heat warnings all the time now, and oh man, it's hot outside, but I love it.
It's just
rain. Working with my hands, man.
Yeah, it's nice to do that, huh?
Yeah.
Did you plant any cannabis seeds?
Oh man, I got 100 acres. I'd love to someday.
One day.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna hit it up. All right, so I'm gonna crack a brewski here and
do what you gotta do, man.
Enjoy this while I speak with Michael Knight on my evening of relaxing. Hey, with regard to Jeffrey Epstein, you know what? Democrat or Republican, you're touching kids. Let's get you to fucking jail. Okay?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Who cares if you're Democrat or Republican? Let's just put them all in jail, castrate the men, and I don't know, shove a broomstick up Hillary somehow. But,
I think jail would be great. I don't need to shove anything in anybody or castrate anybody. Just put them. I mean, this is what I keep calling for. Is we have to put the war profiteers in prison so that we can make the world a safer place for children. It's that simple. you know?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and with a whole house full of children here, like I can't imagine some sick pervert like that. It really is sad, but I think like I really think that this was coming. I listen to SGP Bull a lot on YouTube, a pretty big channel.
Right
And
on.
he's been on this pedo stuff for a long time. The Hagmans have been, and it just works. I hope all these people go to hell. Honestly, touching kids is the worst thing you can do. Really, like yeah, okay, starting war, I guess, but I wanted to talk to you because Trump backed away from Iran. You saw that. And I know just before that happened, you kind of thought something was going to happen. I don't think it is. That's my opinion.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, he didn't exactly back away. He just kind of, he does this bluster thing where you better not, and then they do it, and he goes, oh, they better not anymore. No more chance of death to America, or else, I mean, come on, man. I mean, and he just keeps sending troops over there. So I really don't think, Dwayne, that he's backing off. He's not able, he can hear from the base that it's saying, you better not, Trump, you better not. And because of that, he knows that he has to wait until after the election before he can do anything. So he's trying real hard to try and postpone things a little bit, not keep it on the front burner so hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And, well, who do you think grabbed that Iranian tanker there off of Gibraltar? You think the British did that by themselves, violating UN sanctions or EU sanctions, or do you think that was at the behest of the United States?
I think that I don't know. I mean,
okay,
that kind of
heard
stuff.
about that, eh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, they grabbed the Iranian tanker. They said it was headed for Syria.
Yeah.
Which I who tells people that they can't sell their oil to some other country? I mean, who is Donald Trump to say Iran can't do business with the rest of the world? You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a British frigate circling this thing right now off of Gibraltar.
Yeah.
There's a British, yeah, like the British military is right there. And, well, I don't think they mean peace, man. I really don't.
Iran?
And Syria, the two of them together?
Well, okay, so here's the deal. I saw this thing yesterday. Mike Pompeo talked to these queefers, the Christians United for Israel, right? He talked to them yesterday, Mike Pompeo, and he said that since 2003, the Christian populations in Iraq and Syria have been diminished so greatly that there's almost none of them left. Okay, and when some piece of garbage like Mike Pompeo says something like that, what you have to do is you have to say, gee, what happened in 2003? Oh, right, the United States went into Iraq for no reason based on lies and ruined security throughout that entire region. And that's the reason why there's no Christians in Iraq and Syria, because for generations, Christians have run to Syria to have safe harbor for generations, Dwayne. Okay? So it's not that these people are somehow the Iraq and Syria were against Christians. No, it's the Americans who did it to the Christians that were in that area. It's the United States military who fucked the Christians. Right? You get this, right?
Well, yeah, but you know what? The Christians don't stand up for what's actually in that book. That's the problem. Because look, like the Jews hate Christians, Muslims hate Christians, and Christians are supposed to realize that they're the target of all these people. All of them, the Jews and the Muslims, hate them equally. And Look, I love the book of Revelation, the Bible. If you're going to read one book in that Bible, Mox, read the last one of the Bible where it talks about how the Jews are the synagogue of Satan. And, you know, they're totally the ones that call themselves Jews and are not, you know.
But isn't Genesis like a lot more beautiful to read?
It is, but that already happened. Revelation is what's to come. Do you know what I mean?
Revelations is really cool if you're tripping, you know. But I mean,
oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. When I used to smoke tons of dope, I used to love reading the book of Revelation, man. Oh, brother, like it's awesome to read that when you're stoned. Now I like reading it when I'm just high on love with family and great stuff like that, you know. And I wanted to tell you too, I'm watching all the videos you're putting up.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing.
Tell me something.
No way that Donald Trump can stop Tulsi Gabbard. There's no way that he could actually stop her. He'll defeat every other one of those losers, but there's nothing that he can say against that woman. Period.
Well, you know, it's not. Go ahead.
I can't stand libtards.
Yeah, I know you like Trump, and I know you don't like libtards.
Yep. But he can't beat her.
And you know what the thing is Trump doesn't have to beat her because the Democrats are going to beat her, and the media is going to beat her. You notice that CNN hasn't had her on their channel for fucking since way before the debate. You know,
they had her on a town hall. The first town hall they did with her.
Yeah.
And ever since then, they don't even mention her when they talk about everybody else in the race.
Right.
And they even list like the dozen people at 1% or less.
Yeah.
She wasn't even listed there.
Yeah. It's beyond ridiculous.
And some of the clowns they got now, like at least swallows well.
Yeah.
And you know, Biden, he's going to get eaten alive if he goes against Trump.
Biden needs to step down, man. He needs to get out of the way. He's not going to make it. I mean, he's putting this asterisk on his entire career, which is just completely ugliness. It's like, you know, you could step back and go, yeah, I was the vice president of the United States, and just feel good about that. Or you can have this fucking total re-examination of your actual record, where you put more people in jail or help put more people in jail than all the other countries in the world combined. You know, that's the guy we need for president.
Yeah, what a loser, man. And you know what? Bernie really had a chance a couple years ago, you know. And like I call up my one commie buddy all the time now, and as soon as he answers the phone, I'm like, "You feeling the burn, man?" You know, like he's totally commie. He's been a commie since we went, you know, because I went to university with him, and they trained us to be commies. There's no doubt about that. You know, everything was libtard right up and down, right? Like even in science, it's all it's eugenics, hardcore eugenics in all the major universities in Canada anyway. Best one. And you know, like I took philosophy of feminism once for 2 days. I thought I was going to get some really hot chicks, and that didn't happen. So I had to drop that course and take something else. But
really hot chicks wearing combat boots and wife beater T-shirts.
Yeah. Oh, man, the hairy leg vegans, man. The hairy leg vegan chicks? No way. No way. I don't mind being a tree hugger, but not the chicks, you know. Have some boobs and stuff, you know, and some long hair.
Oh, yeah. I really like girls to have hair, man.
Long hair on their head.
You know, it's one of those things where you look at them when they get into Congress or when they get into the Senate. All the women in the Senate have these men's haircuts, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Hillary, men's haircut. I mean, they all have this, and it's so weird to me that it's like they're trying to compete with the men, and that's not why someone elected a woman, so that you can be more man-like, you know.
Yeah, no, just libtard women are so ugly. That's why I kind of feel at home. That's why I kind of feel at home in a conservative movement, because at least the women are attractive.
I can't argue with you. It seems like there's a lot of hotties in the conservative at the conservative events.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey Mike, I just wanted to say hi. I saw your show was live. I'm like, right on.
Yeah, it's really nice to hear from you, Dwayne. Hey, did you call on 4th of July?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw your number on the caller ID.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. I know you're busy and all that, but hey, give me a show sometime. I left you my number, and if I feel like talking, I'll give you a call.
Right on. Okay, Dwayne, it's good to hear from you, bro. Tell Jane I said hi.
I will. And Mike, peace, love, and happiness, bro.
Thanks, man. Same to you. So again, this is what I keep saying about. This is why I like doing the call-in show, is because the people are smart and they're good people, and you know, and it's nice to connect. It's nice to connect with you guys a little bit here and there. We got another caller. This is going on.
Press 1 to take this call.
I'm pressing 1. Hello, caller. How are you today?
Yo, is this am I on?
You're on.
Look, hey, that last guy, I don't know if they'll agree with all that shit, but I'll say this. I thought it was odd that you remember when the QAnon thing was kind of popular, you know?
Yeah. It's not
And
it's not popular. It's not popular anymore.
I mean, I don't want to say too much because, you know, I feel like these channels are pretty monitored, but I got a pretty good education from a pretty highly selected university in strategic communication. And it's not in the news cycle anymore, which means that the narrative has been directed somewhere else. And
Right.
I'm just saying, if we take everything in full circle, is it weird that, you know, when the QAnon phenomenon was going on, it was controversial on whether or not it was real or not, but the message was about getting these damn pedophiles out of here and like taking everybody down. And then I see that this is kind of happening right now, you know?
Yeah.
So what if the QAnon thing was real and there's actually like a true patriot and he's actually ousting everybody, including you know, Epstein, the music industry, you know, president, everybody. I don't know.
That would be
thought that was
fantastic.
weird.
I mean, it sounds like you're talking about Julian Assange to me.
You know, I mean, all of them.
Yeah.
They all like kind of run the same circle. So I was just thinking, you know, in my head, I didn't want to overlook or like assume things because sometimes, well, I won't say sometimes. Right now, in our current day, you know, place in society, you can't remember what happened 2 weeks ago.
That's what I keep saying, you know, is I think that's why people don't donate to Mox News, is because, you know, they don't get that I've been serving them for years, every single day for years. You know, it's like because they can't remember, because they can't remember anything past, you know, the last 2 days or whatever.
I do appreciate that. I do follow your show, and I'm actually in the process of like setting up my own podcast.
Right on.
I got some experience as far as broadcasting everything, but there's a lot of topics. I just didn't know how much time you had on the line. I just thought that was like maybe something that, you know, perspective, because I don't really get into all the libtard conservative stuff because I think it's all propaganda.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything's propaganda, and it's just making people react in a certain way so that they can pull the strings of the individual, because you can drive markets and drive interest through specifically placed propaganda, whether it be through media, print form, or just hearsay. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I keep thinking that that's what YouTube is doing. That they're doing their.
Well, YouTube is.
Yeah.
YouTube is doing that.
Yeah.
YouTube is doing that, and you'll find that the people who have, okay, like I don't want to like say, you know, what's right or what's wrong, but we know we have a left-right paradigm, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And so there's like a whole bunch of we'll say that we have the rainbow palette of people that span across the left-right paradigm, okay? And then throughout the left-right paradigm, you have maybe one person doesn't believe in said, you know, societal construct, albeit gay or trans rights or I don't know, whatever. Okay.
Right.
And so because of that, it automatically places that person on the far right, you know?
Right.
And so what's happening is they compartmentalize every color and brand of individual, the classification, to the point where all the ideologies of the people have become mixed together and mismatched, right?
I agree.
Which will generate a constant argument. So like, when you ever get tired of hearing that bullshit when they're like, I just like to be able to exchange ideas and it's okay to disagree. But that's not the point of arguing. The point of arguing is to come to a resolution. It's not just to argue and bloviate. It's actually to come to a resolution. So, I find that YouTube, they oftentimes are stoking the flames of bullshit through like freedom of like, making your own content or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I like what you do because you actually pull out the news clip like, hey, what about this? And it's just the news clip like, hey, did you do that shit? Damn, I didn't see that. I didn't see that unless I watched it on my news,
Right on. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to show you the same thing everybody's showing you, I'm not trying to push you this way or that way. I'm trying to say, look what's going on. Look what happened here, and I'm not trying to.
I find that odd.
How's that?
I just find that the just the correlation of shit, like no one's heard of any other pedophile talk until like now. Last time you heard of any pedophile talk in the news, it was about like Pizzagate and like, which goes along with this Epstein thing. And then there's like articles about Trump being at a party with 28 girls and it was supposed to be a calendar girl party.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So it's like, is this what we know as society and the way things work all, ass backwards? Like, the girls that get to go to the Hawaiian Tropics thing is like really, like brainwashed, sex trafficked, women made into weird bimbos. You know what I'm saying? Is that what this is?
I think the problem boils down to people love money too much, man. Women are, it's like if you have a guy with no job, but he's a great guy and he loves your daughter, or you have a guy who's a billionaire and he owns a bunch of companies, which one do you want your daughter to marry?
Right.
It's just always going to go, 99% is going to go to the billionaire. And
right.
And you're programming that into your children from the time they're little tiny, and it's so sad. Yeah. There should be better priorities than money.
Okay, look, I don't want to be on the take up all your time on the line, but I do want to ask one more or bring up another point that I just thought was kind of weird too.
Go ahead.
So I've always said, I'm talking with the homies or whatever, and I was like, rich people never get in trouble, man. Like, there's never any like rich white men that are going to get in trouble, go to prison. You might have like the Bernie Madoff
or rich black people.
No, rich black people go to prison all the time. Mike Tyson went to prison. OJ went to prison. Tyson went to prison.
OJ didn't go to prison at first, did he?
He didn't go to prison at first, but they got him on taking his own shit, and he didn't even have a gun in his hand. They didn't get him. So I'm just saying, like,
OJ does not need a gun to be intimidating.
No, but he's not like he's not some giant man. He's just a regular 6'1", 6'2",
just a regular man who can take your head off with a Bowie knife.
I mean, back then he was probably a crazy beast, but who knows? I mean, if the man did it, I mean, we're off on a tangent right now, but if the man did it, why was it tampering with fucking evidence? Yeah?
Because that's who cops are. Cops are fucking dirty to the core.
But if it's an open and shut case, there should be no need to tamper with any of the bullshit. But that's a side note. I'm just saying, how is this dude Acosta, right? This guy just Epstein broke the law by not disclosing that to the other parties involved, the plea deal.
Yeah.
And is like living life like 20 years later.
Top of the world, Ma.
Huh?
Top of the world, Ma. This Acosta guy, did you watch the press conference today?
I watched a little bit of it, but it just sounds like they're just gonna say that same bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I that, and then I stand by a decision, and there's people involved in that.
Yeah. You're right. Do you know them? Do you know the movie Sin City?
Yeah,
Okay, so you know the pedophile in that movie,
yeah.
the yellow guy. Every time I see
Yeah.
that Acosta guy, he looks exactly like that yellow guy to me. Like you
Yeah.
could paint his fucking skin yellow, and the two would be interchangeable, dude.
He's a. These are these people the villains of the earth?
I think that again, this comes back to the rich thing. This is why I don't like rich people, because the rules don't apply to them.
Think about this, dude.
Yeah.
It's not rich people. It's the people who are rich right now. A lot of those people are shithouse people. But if you had like good, humble people who control the assets, the world might actually be a different and better place.
I don't know how long you can be a good, humble person and control a whole lot of money. I mean, I love the idea of it, but I mean, I always think that that's why I don't have money because if I had money, I would last about a year, because I'd be just.
What do you think about who do you think is the quality presidential candidate?
Tulsi Gabbard.
I mean, on what grounds though?
She wants to stop the wars. She wants to bring the troops home. She wants to quit putting our brothers and sisters into harm's way on bullshit lies.
They've been saying that though.
Who's been saying that?
All the presidents been saying
no. The last debate, she got into a big head-to-head battle with one of the candidates because he's saying we can't just pull the troops out of Afghanistan. Okay, so they're not all saying that.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying everyone who ends up being president has always regurgitated the same bullshit. And we need to end these frivolous wars and get back to tending to our homeless. These are talks.
No. Listen,
I've heard the same speech bullshit every time. That's what I said.
You can look at.
Donald Trump is a linebacker at your high school. Okay, he may not be the best player, but he's a big guy and he plays on varsity. And you know what? When he gets to talking at the lunch table, if you're not on the team, if you're not one of the elite athletes on the team, he's going to talk shit about you and get everybody in this room laughing. And if you can't stand up to that physically or with your mouth to get people back in his ass, then Donald Trump's going to run roughshod over whoever tries to run against him.
I agree. That's partially why I say Tulsi Gabbard is because she's already been to this shit. She spent 2 tours of war in Iraq. Okay,
and Trump hasn't sent like verbal assaults at her, like the other thing.
And she has the most support from Trump people too. I mean, you can hear it on the people when they call the line. So this is what I'm saying is she crosses the parties. She's talking about what's important. These other candidates are not. They're talking about ridiculous bullshit.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you find it odd? Hold on one second. Do you find it odd that Trump never talks shit about any of the women who have like a little ethnic with them? So like he'll go in on like Elizabeth Warren, but he won't say shit about Kamala Harris. He don't say shit about Tulsi Gabbard or any of these other women around. He might say something about AOC, but he won't really attack the other women candidates. He kind of only attacks, as far as women, it's Elizabeth Warren. That's right.
I think that right now he's in this mode where he's like holding back, because if he starts firing out his little fucking I burn that person too soon, it won't have the same effect as once he's head to head in some kind of a presidential battle. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
If he uses his ammunition too fast, it won't be there when he needs it.
All right, last point. Why do you think? Okay, they were talking about Joe Biden was leading for Democrats, right?
Okay.
So who the hell is supporting Joe Biden? I don't know anyone out here in the world, and I live in Colorado. Okay, I don't know anyone out here in this state that's like fucking Joe Biden's a man. No one says that.
Joe
So where are they
Biden.
getting these phone numbers, and where are they getting these people? Secondly, he's been declining. Who's going to take the mantle? Because personally, Bernie Sanders is a great idea. He's charismatic for the millennials and all that bullshit. But dude, you're not Trump. Trump is going to Trump Bernie Sanders, just verbally assault this man until he can't even speak at the podium.
I think you're right. I don't think Bernie can stand up against Trump. He might be able to. I mean, he's a very professional politician. You know, that's what he's been doing with his whole life. So he should be ready to. But it's like you said, you know, Trump has this ability to just like put people in their fucking place. And if you're not able and to go into this, like, you know, this fisticuffs thing, you know, go down into the mud, which is all Bernie Sanders had to do with Hillary Clinton in 2016, was to go into that fucking mud and say she's sick and should not be the nominee. You know, explain exactly, and he refused to do that. So
he's playing too nice.
Yeah.
The politics are way too nice.
And I question if he can, and I don't think he can do it with Donald Trump. So I think you're right.
Do you think Jeffrey Epstein's about to roll on his homie?
Got what now?
Do you think Jeffrey Epstein is going to roll on his homie? Clinton, Trump, Dershowitz, the whole gang, everybody that's in there. People are dropping names now.
I think that it would be. I hope so. I hope the hell he just pulls a fucking list out of his ass, man, a mile long.
But they got his contact.
Exactly.
They found 100 numbers. They found 100 numbers for like. They found like 100 numbers of Bill Clinton. They found 50 numbers in Palm Springs alone.
Yeah.
Like another 50 numbers in New York. And then Trump's gonna say, "I barely knew the guy." Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man.
Yeah. No,
so I got a feeling that they're gonna start. If they got that, and they know what numbers to do, they're gonna start dropping dimes on everybody.
Yeah, I really hope so. I really, really do. I would love to see billionaire after billionaire fucking go to jail, man. That would be awesome.
If that happens, then you have to reanalyze every Q post that was posted.
Huh. You're probably right. You're probably right.
But yeah, do your thing, bro. I'm just listening to the show. You know, I don't want to take up any time for any other callers.
What's your name?
I'm LJ.
LJ?
I'll give you my initials, but
LJ.
I'm a pretty popular dude.
LJ, it's good to hear from you, man. Be sure and let me know when you do it, when you start doing your live shows, all right?
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna give you a call on this number and leave a message. I just got some audio equipment, and I'm in the process of getting these programs and everything together because I do like your screen font. You know how you structure up the screen?
Yeah.
On some of your casts with the Mox News and the Fakery. You know, you need to brand all that shit. You need to brand that and get a movement going. You know what I mean?
Thanks, LJ.
So we can talk about some stuff. But yeah, man, I just like what you do. Keep throwing those clips out because a lot of the clips that you post, that shit will be on the news, and then they'll show that shit one time.
Yeah. I know.
It disappeared. And then nobody's like, "Where'd you get that at?" And I was like, "Dude, I was on this morning."
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So keep it up.
All right, LJ. Thanks a lot, man. Stay cool.
All right, man. Yeah, you too. Peace.
Okay, we got another caller. Hello, caller. How are you? Hello, caller. I guess we lost the caller. I guess we lost that one. Okay, so LJ was freaking awesome. And he's going to be somebody to look for once he gets his live stuff going on. Hello, caller. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Thank you. Who is this?
Hi, I'm calling from Florida. My name's Luna.
Luna?
Yeah.
Nice to hear from you, Luna.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was listening and I really enjoyed the whole conversation. I don't think Jeffrey Epstein is going to take anything down. I think he's going to be very quiet.
I think you might be right too.
Yeah, because this is bigger than everything. So it's just gonna be like, I don't know, maybe he go to jail and they take care of him. I don't know.
Yeah, get him a nice cushy spot somewhere on the beach.
Yeah, because this is huge and a lot of people are involved. So it's gonna be just like
A lot of
you
very
take the fall and he's gonna shut his mouth.
right, a lot of very powerful people. A lot of powerful. Be so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're probably
Like,
right.
I don't even think he can't trust, even if he wants to make a deal to give names.
Yeah.
Everyone is so dirty these days.
Yeah.
Someone is gonna betray him and they're gonna kill him.
Yeah. Right. If he makes it to trial, honestly, I'll be kind of surprised.
Yeah, even if he decided to make a deal and he wanted to give names,
Yeah.
I mean, even he cannot trust his lawyers. I mean, everyone is like dirty.
Yeah, absolutely. The second he starts giving names, the next day they're gonna find him with a noose around his neck. Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, it's just the way America works.
How did it get this way, Luna?
Yeah, well, I'm from Somalia and I grew up here.
Right on. And
So I've been watching all this as a kid. As a kid, when I came to this country and I watched the JFK and the whole idea, I knew everything is built with lies here.
Yeah. It's sad.
And yeah, and another thing I also like. I think America is like people don't investigate. Africa, when something happens, we investigate. People kind of know each other. But here it's like you believe anything you hear on the news.
Well, I've been doing my best to make sure people know better than to believe the news for a long time.
Yeah, and quick thing I want to say is someone was saying that the Muslims hate Christian and
Yeah.
and the Jewish hate the Christian. But if you really think about the only people who always have problems are the Jewish and the Islam. They hate each other.
I think that the whole religion screws everything up for people because they it's like there's a competition. You can't just let that religion be. Those people, you can't just say those people are entitled to their religion just the same as you are entitled to your religion. It has to be some kind of like, no, my God's dick is bigger than your God's dick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and they've been fighting each other forever, and then I think most of the Muslims feels like the Christians are favoring Israel, so that creates more drama.
I think I don't know that most Christians are favoring Israel, but I think that the ones who do are just they have a louder voice in the media and in the country.
I always think about it would be really nice if we just have a religion becomes anonymity. I think it should be like a law that just bans religion. It should be anonymous. You just practice your house, and the whole world will be better off.
And that's
never ends.
That's what God wants too. God, because these houses of worship, they're not. That's not what God wants. God wants you just to be, be the person who you want to be. That's why God gave you the freedom and to be thankful that we have this paradise that we all get to share with each other. As opposed to, no, we got to live by all these strict rules. That's not. If that's what God wanted, God would not have made you free to start with. That was.
Amen.
Yeah. Because if you're free, I grew up Muslim, and I read the Bible, and I'm getting to know Jesus. And he did say, go in your closet to your Father and pray. Don't be a hypocrite and go to the temples and be shown. Everybody's showing up. Yeah.
Instead of doing the prayer in their own house and helping others.
It's about a personal relationship with God, not some kind of thing in the community. You know, I mean, not that you can't reach out to the community to share God's love in whatever way you see appropriate, but it's about you know, as people look at me, you know, and I like to say fuck God all the time, you know, because people don't know what God is. You know, you don't know, you know, and so fuck God. It doesn't matter because this is just some way that you've attached this. People want to say, oh, him. He thinks this and he thinks that. That's the most ridiculous shit I ever heard. Why are you calling God him? Because you have to make it into some kind of form that you can understand. And this is what I'm saying. You can't understand what God is. Stop trying to make it something and just show appreciation, you know?
That's why I always thought about like God should be beyond religion.
Yeah. We need a new religion. We need a new Bible.
Personally, I struggle. Look, I struggle. I grew up Muslim and then I tried. Yeah, it's so confusing that I really thinking God is not in religion.
Religion is against God. I honestly believe that. Religion is against God. Religion is some guy telling you what, you know, what God wants for you when God has already made that clear by giving you the free will to go and do what it is that you want for you.
Yeah, and also the sad thing religion is everybody so invest in when we die in heaven, and they forget we're already living in heaven and this is our heaven and we need to make it better. I mean, everybody, like every religion I talk to, it's always like, when you die, I'm like, we're here. Can we fix it here? Can we leave this heaven here? Can we make the world a better place for us? Like you said, I really like what you said about if you ask a mother, your son, you want a good man who doesn't have a lot of money, or you want a rich guy who's not nice. Money becomes God, and that's what ruins everyone's life. And money cannot be the most important thing in life.
We have to find something more important than money. Money is the root of evil. If you make money the most important thing, then you're making evil the most important thing.
And we are teaching the kids the only thing matters: go to school, make money, and they don't teach them how to be kind to each other, stop bullying, love. As a child, that's not what we teach them. We teach them the whole education system is a mess.
Now that is not just not to be kind, but to dominate those other people. If you have to step on them to get where you need to go, you step on them without hesitation.
Wow. Well, anyway, I'm glad I called. I like the beer. You look good.
Hey, Luna, I'm really glad you called too. Thanks very much.
Yeah, and I'm completely pro-American, and I'm praying for everybody that the country comes together and we really live in peace, because I know what war can do. Americans don't know what war is like.
Yeah.
I'm from Somalia. Everything was beautiful, and one day people start not liking each other, to separate everyone, and the next thing you know, it's been a war over 30 years.
Yeah.
So Americans need to rethink and come together.
I'm really sorry to hear about Somalia, but yeah, I hear what you're saying, and and I'm glad that you made it to a safer place.
Yes, God bless America. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for calling, Luna. Nice to hear from you.
Take care, sir.
You too. So again, this is what I'm saying about doing this kind of show. It's always nice to hear from you guys because that person is so nice, and she sees the truth. She sees that religions are against God, as I said.
Your voicemail system.
Okay.
Press 1 to take this call.
Press 1. Hello, caller.
Hello, Moxie.
Hello, brah.
Hey, so tell me, money's not the most important thing. Money shouldn't be the most important thing, right? Is that what you just said?
Money is evil.
Okay, but you're saying rich people. You're talking all about how it's all about the rich people, and rich people are evil.
I didn't say rich people are evil. I said I don't like rich people.
And you want to see them in jail.
Oh, I look forward to
Right?
seeing some pedophile rich people, billionaires go to jail, wouldn't you?
But see, that's not what now you're changing it.
I want to see war profiteers go to jail, and I'd love to see some billionaire pedophiles go to jail. Okay? I want to see war profiteers go to jail. For the same reason I want to see pedophiles go to jail, to make the world a safer place for little children.
Okay, but who are little children in danger of right now? Are they in danger
War
of Christian
profiteers.
conservatives, or are they in danger of people on the left who are of
People-
the communist socialist strain?
People who think that war is an okay thing to make happen.
No, okay, but again, who are children more in danger from right now? From the Christian right or from the left in the country? What would you say?
I think that those are the same thing. I think that they're different. Of course they are. They're different sides of the same coin, just speaking to different suckers. Okay? The liberals are speaking to their suckers, and the conservatives are speaking to their suckers.
Okay. Well, I think you're all over the place, generally speaking, and not just tonight. Generally speaking, with your videos, I think you're all over the place because you try to say that you are libertarian sometimes, and other times. So I do know, Mox, that you support the Second Amendment. So you're also talking about Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard. Are they going to protect the Second Amendment, Mox?
I'm not sure that either one of them are going to protect the Second Amendment in the way that you might be thinking, but Bernie Sanders has been standing up for the Second Amendment for many, many years until he has, and voted against a assault rifle ban. So
Okay,
you know,
but if he's gonna run as a Democrat, that's not gonna fly. He's not gonna win, the nomination from the Democrats if he were.
See, this is again this trap that you're falling into. Bernie Sanders, when he ran in 2016, didn't have Democrats that wanted him. He had people, he had individuals who were like, yes, finally somebody that I actually feel is worthy of donating to. Okay, finally somebody.
Because he wants to give everybody free stuff. And you're on board with him giving everybody free stuff because you're that kind of guy that you want free stuff. You want to chill out. You want everybody. And the thing is about the rich people, you hate rich people because you hate that you don't have their money. You want their money. You want Bernie Sanders to win. You want Bernie Sanders to win.
I've made this.
The billionaires' money, and I give some to you.
I don't want anything from the fucking government. Okay?
Okay.
I don't like this government.
Why would you vote for Bernie Sanders and the people on the left now?
What?
They're totally supporting free college, everything. That's
I am supporting Tulsi Gabbard. Clearly, I've made that very, very clear again and again. And the reason I'm supporting
she can't be trusted, Mark.
The reason I'm supporting Tulsi Gabbard is because she's the only one talking about stuff that is actually fucking important, like ending wars and bringing our troops home.
Okay, Mark, listen to me for a second. Okay, listen, seriously. Okay. Trump was talking about the same thing. Okay. Now, if you say,
and then he put John Bolton in charge of fucking Iran intelligence. Come on.
Here's the thing, Mark. You're. I don't know how old you are, but you've been around a while. You watch a lot of this stuff. You watch politics. Are you telling me that you can't see a bigger picture about why it is that John Bolton might have been? Do you think it's all Donald Trump? You think Donald Trump really is King Trump? He's really he picked like
I think Donald Trump sees somebody like John Bolton on TV and goes, yeah, John Bolton's the perfect person for the job. Because anybody on Fox News is the kind of guy that he wants by his side.
Mark, let me tell you, Donald Trump has handlers. He has the military-industrial complex close to his side. They are totally... I mean, again, Mike Pompeo, as far as I'm concerned, I think, we might have President Kushner and Vice President Pompeo running the country right now. But I don't think Trump's really in total control of everything. And I think he said that in his interviews. He talked about the military-industrial complex. What other president has done that? Mox has come out and said, listen, there's a lot of war hawks, and John Bolton's one of them. He came out and said that. I mean, what other person says that? What other president says that? And you're rooting for Tulsi? You're rooting for Bernie Sanders? You want Trump in jail?
didn't say I'm rooting. I didn't say I want Trump in jail.
Yes,
I didn't.
You did. Earlier, anybody who watches the replay of this, you said earlier, I would love to see, you said not only Trump, you said Trump's family members, I'd like to see in jail. That's what you said.
And the Clintons, and Obama,
right now.
if he's messing around with children with Jeffrey Epstein, maybe he should be in jail, don't you think?
If he's messing around with children,
right?
Yes, he should be in jail. But there's absolutely
who's a very fun guy to hang out with.
Because they're billionaires. They are in the same circles. I mean, it's like, it means nothing. It means nothing. He knows Jeffrey Epstein. It means nothing. It does not mean that Trump is guilty of.
See, you sound like an Obama supporter. You sound like an Obama supporter, dude. Oh, you just want to blame everything on Obama.
What?
You just want to blame everything on Obama. That's what Obama's supporters said again and again and again. Okay?
I sound like an Obama supporter. Well,
exactly.
I'm not sure about what that means.
I just explained it to you.
And like I said, if Trump's guilty of something, then by all means, he should be in jail. But
you think Trump's not guilty of anything?
So,
have you not looked at his history at all?
Specifically about what?
About the way that he's built people. He takes people, small companies, and he gets them to do work for them, and then he doesn't pay them.
No, you know what? I happen to know firsthand about that, Mox, and I'm not going to go into detail. I live on the East Coast. I actually know about that specifically, and I've had family who was involved in that. And you know what?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not giving him a pass that, business-wise, he's always done the right thing. Most big business guys like that, don't always do it, but what does that have to do with him running the country right now? I mean, again, you're going back in time about what he 100%. Have you been 100% on the level, Fox, as everybody? I mean, you're going to nitpick about things like that, really? Like, what's more important?
You're holding this guy up like somehow he's the savior who can do no wrong. Okay, no. He's not responsible for the military. He's not responsible for the people in his cabinet. He's not responsible for what he did years ago in business. He's not responsible for flying and being buddy-buddy with Jeffrey Epstein. You sound like a Obama supporter. Come on, figure it out.
Well, Mox, didn't Trump is the only guy who stepped forward and helped the lawyers for the victims of Epstein. Trump actually responded to subpoenas to give them information about Epstein. Okay, the lawyers have come out for the victims and said Trump was the only one who answered the subpoena, called them up and gave them information that they needed about Epstein. Now, again, I'm not saying, that means Donald Trump's a savior. No, I'm just saying it is what it is. I mean, until you have actual proof of something, then you're talking out of your ass, really. And how come you don't, Mox, did you see that there was reporting today? Ann Coulter had mentioned, and she said that, many people are talking now that Epstein is an intelligence asset. Now, for who and for what country he's an intelligence asset, they don't know. But that's sort of going around now that perhaps, that's who this guy is. And so him getting taken down.
That would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense.
Him getting taken down right now, as far as to answer your question, is he going to take down other elites?
Yeah.
The only reason Jeffrey Epstein got arrested, it's the only reason. Nobody cares about his victims. Nobody cares about women. Nobody cares about the poor women. They're going to say, the poor victims. They don't care about the victims. They care about what information this guy has
on big people. So the answer is absolutely somebody's going to get taken down. People are going to get taken down, or else he wouldn't have got arrested in the first place. Absolutely.
I sure hope you're right, man, because I just hate seeing people get away, with this kind of crime, and it's solely because they're rich.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, it's not. I don't think it's about being rich, Mox. I think it's about connections and I mean, rich goes along with that. But again, like you sound like one of these. Again, you're talking. I sound like an Obama supporter. You sound like one of these. Again, socialist. Bernie bots.
I told you I don't want anything from the
The
government.
evil rich people will all be better off.
I
Just
don't-
kill all the rich, man.
I don't want anything
really?
from this fucking piece of shit government. Okay? I hate this fucking piece of shit government. I want nothing from it.
Can I just tell you that as far as Tulsi Gabbard is concerned, if she were to get in office, then she's not going to get in office, okay, as the president. If she were, okay, she would fail spectacularly as far as trying to put her agenda of pull all the troops out. It's not going to happen. Whether she won or she just is not able to get near the office, it's not going to happen. And then when that falls through, just like it's falling through with Trump, then what have you got? Then you got, you have.
I mean,
Joe
it's
Biden
never going to
and
happen
Biden.
like it's never going to happen with Donald Trump. Like people said over and over again, oh, Donald Trump is never going to be president. Right?
Well, I mean, but Trump had a lot of other things. Again, Fox, I mean, he stands for a lot of things that I think, libertarians stand for. A lot of it's the populist, I mean, a lot of people could relate to, again, just basic, freedom of speech, not being silenced on social media and protecting the Second Amendment, all this stuff. I mean,
He silences people on his Twitter account quite regularly, and that's after being told it is unconstitutional for him to do that.
Well, I don't follow his Twitter, so I mean, okay. I mean, then he's evil. Then I guess, you know what I mean. So
I'm just saying he doesn't believe in freedom. He doesn't. If he did, he would stand up and fucking end the drug war. Okay, it's not helping anybody. Instead, he stands up there and he says, "Oh, drugs are flooding across the border." Yeah, drugs are always going to flood across the border. Drugs have always flooded across the border. That's going to happen no matter who's president. Just fucking end the drug war. That way, you take the money away from the criminals. Okay?
It was the drugs that Donald Trump is rallying against is not pot. Obviously, pot is going fine. I mean, more and more states are accepting this, so the pot is still going. He's not doing anything as far as
what's happening.
So the only war he's having is the opioids, which people are dying from, Mark. So what do you want him to do?
I want
make it easier for people to kill themselves with opioids, or what do you want to do about that?
Yes, you have to end the drug war. The reason the South American countries are so fucked up is because of the drug war. That's the reason all these people are rushing up here, because the criminal gangs have all this money. The criminal gangs. Everybody hates the criminal gangs. Well, you want to hurt them? And the fucking drug war. You take away pretty much 90% of their money. Okay? Then you know what happens? There's no more criminal gangs. And then you know what happens? 80% of crime ends. Oh my God, how horrible.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, bro.
I'm not going to argue for locking up. I'm not going to. But I think it's a lot more complicated than what you're making it out.
Right, it's complicated.
Again,
because millions and millions of
the
people would
war,
lose their jobs. Millions and millions of cops and fucking drug war profiteers would lose their jobs, judges, all the prison guards, and they're all fucking heavily armed, and they're all alcoholics and steroid users and pill poppers. So they'll be out on their asses, depressed, and drinking alcohol and doing handfuls of pills and fucking yeah. So that was going to be a really bad thing. I agree. We got to care about cops, right? I mean, we don't want to lose 80% of we don't want to stop 80% of crime because then the cops will all be out of work. We can't have that.
Well, you know what? I see cities that have the least amount of police mocks are, you know, there's shit on the streets and there's homeless people everywhere, crime and rampant. So, you know, I mean, listen, you know, yeah, you can get rid of cops and then you can have more garbage like what's going on in San Francisco and Seattle and, you know, but I don't know. I guess
if you end the drug war, you won't have that.
End the drug war. Really?
You really don't get it. You really don't get that. It's like 9/11, right? If you just investigate 9/11 properly, then we don't have this whole, oh, war on terror, terrorists are coming to get us. That's not what happened. The drug war is the same exact bullshit. It doesn't come, it just gives you an heroin epidemic, an opioid epidemic. That's what the drug war has brought you. Yeah, let's keep doing that for more generations. That makes sense.
Well, again, Mox, you know, if you've seen San Francisco, you know that San Francisco lets people do drugs as much as they want to. They do not have a heavy police force there, like sort of busting people for drugs. And there are people literally laying all over the sidewalks in their own piss, shit, and vomit on drugs. Okay, and it's been like that for a long time now. And so that's what's going to, you know, spread across the country. It already is spreading across the country. So
that's what the drug war has brought you.
You say, okay, everybody can do drugs.
That's what the drug war. That's what the drug war has brought you.
Oh, all right.
Look at Portugal. Look at Portugal, dude. All drug war in San Francisco.
Do you think there's a drug war going on in San Francisco, Mox?
There's a drug war going on everywhere in the world.
I lived there for a long time, okay? And believe me, there's no drug war going on there. People are free to, you know, shoot up right out in public, you know, right in front of, you know, kids. You care about the kids. You know, people shoot up and do all this stuff right out in public. So that's, you know.
Because it's illegal. You don't understand. Because it's illegal, all this money is diverted that could be helping people like that. Okay? We wouldn't have all these people.
Why aren't the socialists in California doing it? Why aren't the commie socialists
because
in California
the California prisons are packed full of people for drug charges. Are you that stupid?
Didn't Trump fix that?
Trump fixed everything. I forgot. He's just like Obama. He's a god.
I asked you a question. No, I just asked the question. Didn't Trump pass a bill that sort of, you know, pulled back on the long sentencing for drug offenders? So many people were released who were in jail for a long time because of the Biden crime bill, right? Isn't that what happened? Or no?
They reduced sentences on some of the crack cocaine and garbage like that, so that it's not a lifetime. No, it's not doing. You have to end the drug war. Okay, you have criminals. Yes, you have criminals that are in control of the drug market. Okay, that's why you have a heroin epidemic. That's why you have an opioid epidemic. And Trump is doing nothing to stop it. And it's 100% because of the drug war. That's why the criminals are in charge of the drugs. And that's why they will not hesitate to sell them to your 12-year-old son.
So who will be in charge of the drugs in your world when they end the drug war? Then who will the drugs be in the hands of after that?
Licensed people who are licensed to sell.
People?
Yes, stores like they have here. Stores where you can go and buy weed. Duh.
So gangs bad, store is good. It just needs to be a store, and then it's you know, it's different.
And then it's made sure, because the gangs don't just sell drugs, do they? Okay, stores just sell stuff. Okay? Are you even listening to what you're saying? Your argument is ridiculous. You know it's a completely failed drug war. Okay? You know that what I'm saying makes sense. You take the product away from the criminals. You take their money away. They're not able to even finance crime anymore. Okay? It ends 80% of crime, and it gives us money to be able to help the people that are laying on the fucking street in their piss and shit, because they're not the priority now. But if we had all that money and we didn't have to waste it all on fucking housing drug criminals, we could help them.
Help them how?
Pick them up off the street to start with.
Okay, so you just said you're against housing criminals, but then you do want to house them. You want to house drug people, drug addicts somehow, right?
Do you want this to be a Christian nation or not? Okay? Well, then you need to take care of the people that are the least amongst us, don't you?
Well, I have a different way of doing that, boss. I mean, yes, I think that's true. I think that is what you want to do, but I think it is a different way to do it than what, And since what?
Yeah, because the way we're doing it is so great.
You're not really advocating for that, boss, right? You don't think it should be a Christian nation, right?
No, I don't think it should be a Christian nation. I think,
so then why are you using that as an argument then if you don't
because
actually believe
that's what you believe. The people who want the drug war. That's what they believe. They want it to be they don't just want it to be a Christian nation. They believe that it is, and it is not.
Well,
so yeah, no, I don't want to continue bullshit lies no more. Like the drug war, like the Christian nation that we are clearly not.
Well, we're not anymore. When we were mocked, there weren't people, pissing and shitting out on the street in their own vomit. There was very little crime. The country was safe. Everybody was, taken care of. There wasn't even, really a need for, social programs. That's back when it was more of a Christian nation. Now that we've lost that, now the country is quickly becoming a third world shithole.
And you know when that started? You know when that started? When we started the fucking war on drugs.
Well, but drugs weren't pouring into the country before that, Mox. We didn't have drugs pouring into this country.
No,
the war on drugs was because
the war on drugs.
The drugs in the country.
The war on drugs started with Nixon after the government petitioned a study to find out what they could do to help society the most. And it said loosen restrictions on vices like pornography and drugs. And Nixon went exactly the opposite way and made it more of a police state, and more funding goes into the police state, the police state, the police state. And the more it goes into the police state, the less there is for everybody else who needs it.
Well, I'm neither for a police state nor am I for a drug-addled population who are everybody stoned on some sort of drug. I'm not for that either. And
well, so that's what the drug war has brought you, isn't it?
No, Mark, it goes back before. Again, you skip over the points that I'm making. Okay, so why don't you tell me why it is that back in the day we didn't have a police state prior to 1950. We didn't have a police state, but we also didn't have, a drug-addled population. What happened, Box? What happened there?
I told you what happened, didn't I? I told you exactly what happened, didn't I?
There wouldn't be a drug war, Mox, if there wasn't drugs here. If there wasn't.
You just said there wasn't drugs. You said there wasn't drugs, and then all of a sudden we have a drug war, and now we have a heroin epidemic. Good plan. Let's keep up with that good plan, right? How many more generations? How many more generations?
Mox, if people were raised in this country to be Christian, they wouldn't need to find an outlet in drugs. Okay? They don't need drugs at all. You know, your answer is to give them a better sort of way to do drugs.
My
You know,
answer
but
is
the answer
freedom.
to have people on
My
drugs.
answer is freedom. Okay? Freedom. You give them what God gave them. Freedom to make up their own mind. What religion tries to take from them. Freedom. What the police state tries to take from them. Freedom. What government tries to take from all of us. Freedom. That's what I'm trying to give people.
I mean, that's, again, they're happy. It's just like a true leftist. You got a lot of, you know, happy, you know, bumper sticker type slogans about freedom and everything.
I
But
don't.
It really doesn't answer, you know, the question. It really doesn't get to the heart of what's actually going on. You know, that's, you know.
What's actually going on is a corrupt police state. You can see that, right?
It's a corrupt government, you know, and again, to go back to the rich, you know, thing, you know, we wouldn't have to worry about rich people if our government, you know, wasn't selling out to them. Okay, if our politicians just did what they were supposed to do and stand up for the people,
right?
Then rich people are meaningless. Okay, if they can't buy people off,
right?
But people can be bought off now because they have no morals and they have no, you know,
right. No, it's not that. It's that because the government is about the rich people. The government isn't about protecting you and I and our freedom and the Constitution, which protects our freedom. The government is about protecting the rich people and restraining you and I as much as possible and our freedom as much as possible. Clearly.
Well, let me tell you, Mox, and again, I'll sort of wrap this up for you, and that is that, you know, I think that people in our government, and again, I'm not putting anybody on a pedestal, nobody's perfect, I don't trust anybody, but, you know, I like people like Rand Paul, I like Ron Paul, but, you know, Rand Paul is on the Republican side, okay? Now, he could, you know, be libertarian or whatever, but he is with the Republicans.
Yeah,
so
I agree. I agree.
The Republican Party is far more salvageable to, you know, protect our Constitution and Declaration of Independence and all of our, you know, the original founders, what they wanted. That is more salvageable than the left. The left has gone full-blown socialist and communist. So you sort of have
both are the same. They're just talking to different suckers.
Well, the rhinos, again, there's the rhinos. And again, Trump seems to be against the rhinos. He seems to be speaking out against the rhinos. He's speaking out against the military-industrial complex. And I think that's good. And if, you know, again, he does something wrong, I'll say he does something wrong. Again, I cringe just like everybody else when he picks Bolton. But I also see that I really don't think it's Trump's decision. I really don't think people are telling him, you know, there's
okay, but the buck has to stop somewhere, right? We can't just go, oh, it's some shadowy, you know, star chamber government. We can't really do anything about it. So let's just let Bush off, and let's just let Cheney off, and let's just let Obama off, and let's let Biden off, and let's let Trump off, because you know, who cares who they kill?
Well, yeah, but what if it was your son or daughter, Mox? I mean, what if, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what will happen. Okay,
my son or daughter, what now?
If Trump, you know, if it hasn't happened already, and again, some people have speculated that it has, you know, what they're going to do is they're going to threaten his family. They're going to threaten his daughter or his son. They're gonna, you know, there might be an accident. You know how accidents happen.
No,
people in government. You know how that sometimes happens.
Hey, you know, so, I get that. I honestly believe once the president gets into the White House, that they take you to some secret room and they show you. They say, "This is the effects of anthrax, of military-grade anthrax," and they go, "It would be horrible if one of your children was to get a leather full of that, wouldn't it?" And that's it. That's the end of the story right there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's quite like that. I mean, people have said that. I don't want to go into it. But yeah, I mean, I mostly agree with you. But I think that's exactly, they get sat down and they know and they understand that you know, again, they are not king. They're going to go along with, you know, things that go much deeper than what the American people know. You know,
Yeah.
things go much, much deeper than what everybody thinks they're seeing on the mainstream media, which you post on your channel, Mock, as if it's the gospel. Again, you're posting mostly CNN clips on your channel.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Like, I mean, CNN's fake news, Mock.
That's a bunch of bullshit. I don't mostly post CNN. I post from different sources. Many of them you probably would not have heard of if it was not for Mox News. I post hours of C-SPAN video every day almost, which doesn't compare to how much CNN video I post because it trumps it by far. Okay, I post videos from different news organizations and outlets from around the world, including some that are not even available on channels, on television, you know? So it's not true what you're saying. And that's what makes Mox News interesting. That's what makes it viable. That's why people are here. If I just posted CNN, they just go subscribe to CNN. I do something very different. And I pick through 20 hours of CNN to pick little jewels out that actually matter. And maybe somebody might want to not have to go through 20 hours of it to find that little jewel. So you know.
Yeah. Okay.
True, man.
Well, I mean, I think you should broaden your horizons. Obviously.
And how many years? And how many years have I been serving you?
Serving me? You don't serve me.
Of course I do. You're here on my page watching my work. I serve you.
You serve me.
That's right.
I see.
And what is it that you do for me exactly?
I don't do anything for you.
That's right.
For you again, you know what?
You should give something back. You should give something back. Yes, because I do something for you every day.
No.
Yes, I do. Yes. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Doing something for me.
Of course I
You're
am.
doing something because you're trying to get money for it. You're like that.
You're full of shit. I do what's right by you. You don't do what's right by me, do you?
No way.
That's the facts, Jack. That's the facts.
You're the homeless guy who comes up and tries to wipe your windows.
I'm not homeless. I live in a nice home.
Clean your windows.
I'm not homeless at all. I live in a nice home, in a nice neighborhood.
What's that?
I live in a nice home, in a nice neighborhood.
You do?
That's
Are you
right.
serious?
That's right.
Do you work? Do you have a job?
I fucking spend 20 hours a day on this freaking channel, dude.
Okay. So then the answer is no.
So how about you give something back?
Well, Mox, again, I am giving something back.
No, you're not.
Valuable information.
No, you're not.
Right now.
No, you're not.
If it wasn't for millionaires,
You're the one getting valuable information.
You wouldn't be able to sit there with no job watching news all day and posting clips all day. You wouldn't be able to do that.
I would.
For the millionaires and billionaires in this country.
Millionaires and billionaires don't give me shit.
Really?
Really?
Then how do you feed yourself then? If you don't have a job.
From good people like you, sir, who out of the goodness of your heart see the hard work that I've been serving you for fucking years and give something back.
Well, I've seen you do a lot of begging over the years, Mox. What I've seen you do. And
yeah, that's all I do is just beg all day, huh? You're a fucking douchebag, aren't you?
But I'm saying that, you know, again,
you're saying what? You're saying what? You're saying that you have an excuse for not giving something back. That's what you're saying. Good plan.
Do you have an excuse for not working and contributing to the
I work here all day long, giving to you, serving you. A service which relies solely on tips from good people like you.
Well, I don't think you're serving me anything.
Then you're a dumb shit, aren't you?
CNN and C-SPAN anytime I like.
Uh-huh.
I
And you
don't
want to
really
look through those,
talk-
you want to look through 20 hours of CNN to find the fucking little jewels that I find you? 20 hours,
No, CNN, I don't watch.
36
I don't watch
hours of
CNN.
fucking C-SPAN a day to find the little jewels that I serve you? Is that what you want to do? Yeah, I'm sure you can just go and pick that shit out anytime you want. You're not very
I
bright,
watch
are
CNN
you?
a lot. I watch a lot of the important things that happen in our government.
I'm
I
sure
watch
you
for
do.
myself.
And that has
Because,
nothing to do with
Mark, if
Mox
you
News.
think for a
Mox News
second
never helps you with that
if
at
you
all.
think that so wait, so you think that I should let
Give
a stranger,
something back.
so
Give
you
something
think I
back.
should let a
Yes.
stranger decide what the jewels are? You're going to decide what the jewels are. Actually, Mark, I
You
think those
came to
jewels
me,
are-
asshole. You decided.
Okay.
You're the one who
Cool.
came to me. I didn't come to
Right.
you. You came to me. You know why? Because you were seeking knowledge. And I was providing
Wrong.
that for you.
Wrong.
Yes, of
Wrong.
course it is.
I'm seeking no knowledge from you.
Of
Mark. I'm
course
seeking
you
no
were.
knowledge
That's
from you.
why you're here.
It's not.
It
Not at
is.
all.
Otherwise, you're not seeking girls jumping rope with big boobs. You're not seeking faceplant videos. You're not seeking fart videos. You're not seeking some guy setting himself on fire. You came here because I provide a never-ending stream of knowledge of which you were seeking.
Yeah, I don't depend on anybody else, to feed me any knowledge. But
Of course
what
you
I
do.
like about
Of course you do.
And
You
again,
depend on lots of people. You depend on lots of people to do that for you. You really are a fucking moron, aren't you?
Don't be so triggered, Mark. I was going to just say that, I was going to tell you why I do come to your channel, and which is to see the comment section and to see, and just like I'm calling you now, is to, give my own 2 cents about what I think, and so that's why I called you up.
And I provided that service for you to do. I provided that for you. You really are just that fucking moronic, right? That you just think that I don't do anything for you. You really don't think that, do you? I mean, you really
No, you
do
don't
think
do
that.
anything for
See,
me. No,
okay,
you
then
don't.
why
Absolutely
are
don't.
you here, asshole? Isn't your time more valuable than that?
Well, I didn't actually
Well,
think I was gonna be
yeah,
this long, but I do think it's funny how easy it is to trigger you by
it's
just pointing out
hilarious.
that,
It's hilarious
don't
when
work.
I fucking give and give and give to this fucking community for 15 years and no one gives back. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious, man. That's just fucking
Well,
hilarious.
nobody owes you anything, Mark. Nobody owes you anything. Okay? Nobody owes you anything.
I didn't
bro.
say anybody did owe me anything.
It sounds like it. It sounds like that's what
Give
you're saying.
something
It sounds
back.
like it.
Be a decent human being and give something back. Okay, that's what people do. When you take a service from somebody over and over and over again for years, and you know that service relies on tips, you give something back. That's what
I
decent
think
people
you're falling
do.
into the mainstream narrative of the news that you
I
watch
think you have your
around
fucking
the
head
clock.
completely up your ass. So
No,
there.
it's not. That's what
Yes, it
right?
is, clearly.
So I wouldn't contribute to you any more than I would contribute to CNN or Fox News or contribute to any other networks. Why would should I contribute to them?
They have billions of dollars, asshole. They have billions of dollars. They don't cut down the little clips for you. Okay, I'm fucking here going through all that shit so you don't have to. So that thousands and thousands of people don't. Right, of course you don't. But you do.
I don't really watch any of the CNN clips you post, my friend. I don't watch it.
Of course you don't.
I don't buy into any of that garbage.
Right.
Garbage. Don Lemon. Really? I don't want to waste my time watching that. That's what I'm saying. If you're wasting your time even posting it, to be honest. Right? You would be much better off, posting videos of yourself, giving your own opinion than posting, garbage, mainstream media news.
Right. So showing you the Google CEO being questioned about why there's videos on YouTube of Hillary eating babies That's just a zero value, right? You don't. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs Mox News to post that to be able to see it, right? They're gonna go and they're gonna sit through a 4-hour fucking hearing to hear that one little clip, right?
Well, what else do they do when they're not, working, when they don't go to their jobs? I mean, I understand that.
What else do they do? Oh, of course, they just watch news for 20 hours a day.
No, but they should. All your viewers, Mark, should. Well, you're posting it. So if you're posting large clips of C-SPAN, then you obviously want people to watch C-SPAN, right, Mark? I mean, what are you saying? I mean, I don't understand. That's why you're posting it, because you want people to watch it.
I'm putting it
you
in
can watch it on Mox, or you can just go to C-SPAN yourself every day and watch what you think, the important hearings that are happening. Everybody should do that.
Yeah, because everybody's got nothing better to do than to do that. Go and dig through it and figure out what's important.
Better to do, right? Isn't that what they do when they come to your channel?
No, they come to my channel seeking knowledge, asshole. How many times I need to tell you?
You're not providing knowledge.
Okay, that's completely fucking bullshit. You are an idiot. Okay, I provide a never-ending stream of knowledge on YouTube for 15 fucking years on the front page of every major news website on the internet. Okay, so whoever the fuck you are, that's who I am. That's what I do. And I don't think you got shit on that.
I know who you are, Mark.
Yeah, of course you do. You know so much. You know everything. You're just like Donald Trump. I know fucking more than the generals know about you, Mark.
Well, let me see. From this conversation, I gathered, from this conversation alone, I gathered that
you gather everything.
Billionaires all locked up, but at the same time,
I didn't say that.
So it's like, okay.
I didn't say that.
But you're providing knowledge to the country, right? You're providing knowledge. Is that what it is?
I provide a never-ending stream of knowledge. That's correct. What is it that you do?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm sure. Thanks so much for calling. Okay, that was such a worthless conversation. Why not get a job? Yeah, why not get a job? Okay, why not you give something back? Why not you recognize that I give and give and give to this community? Obviously of value. On the front page of every major news website on the internet, again and again and again. Obviously, the work that I do is clearly important. Okay, so if you don't care about that, then go be a douchebag like this guy. Fine. Okay, you want to be a douchebag? He's a shining representation of it. Okay, I give and give and give. And I just want, and I fight for freedom and awareness. So many people, you guys have heard again and again, the callers say, my journey of awareness began with Mox News. Okay, if you do not see that as a valuable resource to the community, it's because you're petty like this little piece of shit who just called. Because you can't see beyond your own little pettiness. Okay, I give and give and give. Day in, day out, again and again and again. Hello, caller.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not bad. So, I mean, if you, I think it's through. You got the eyeball on the back of the dollar bill that runs the entire show, and you got Trump doing the little triangle thing. So there's nothing unless the people who are making our bad production decide they want to do something with Donald Trump to not having there's no way you're gonna see anything change anything as long as he's the guy that church that runs our military, runs our media, and runs everything. As long as they have him as their representative and that he's their game that they're gonna play,
That's what you're going to have. Nobody can stop it. John Lennon couldn't stop it. You know, he tried to tell you, come on, flat top, you got, you whack the top of someone's head, two eyeball you on, you eat from the left or center lobia apart to get the third eye. Holy roller, you guys should turn to whacking Eddie's brain, running everything.
I think you're right.
So, what's that?
I think you're right.
Well, that's what's going on. You can see it if you want to go to YouTube and see my discoveries. You can see where I found the Grail. I found the Holy Ghost, the Spirit of Christ, go back in the physical world 1,000 years ago in a painting that shows Christ himself will show you his anger. He was rich. He told the church, don't be eating people's brains to see me. It works. And it turns out the afterlife goes on forever instantly, which John Lennon was telling you, projecting our images, space, and in time. And you can see ghosts from today, anciently. They could, and they were putting their spirits in the physical world in paintings. I found JFK and John Lennon laying on the beach in 1,000-year-old paintings I posted on YouTube. I found the Grail. And because I'm doing what I did, I found the Spirit of Destiny. They gave it to me, and I'm running for president with the Spirit of Destiny. And I am the Knight of the Round Table that's going to lead the world with peace. 1,000 years ago, the church drank the Grail and said, well, we are getting the Spirit back. The people who created the Holy Grail took it 1,000 years ago, and they went on the quest. They brought the Spirit of Destiny with them. And they were like, you can have our Grail, but we want your symbol, your religion. They took the Spirit of Destiny, and they gave it. I had it. And I'm running for president with the active Spirit. And I am the Knight of the Round Table. You find the Grail. You can take the seat. I found the Grail. See that? It's a bunch of sophisticated Holy Grail found through Christianity. I found it. The art is already piloted. The newspaper of my project. The art of the project. Dominating the grass. The grass. All that. You just get go ahead and go to the something. He was showing you the art. Told you some kind of jewelry do, lifting a veil, some call it magic to search for the Grail. That's why they killed him.
Are you reading a poem right now?
No, I'm telling you my discoveries. If you look at the album cover to Mind Games, you'll see the art that's in every newspaper in our country. Look in the trees of USA Today. It's the same art that's in the album cover to Mind Games. He was showing you the art, telling you they're putting this art everywhere. And that's why JFK simulated his administration with Camelot. Camelot's in the Round Table's quest to find the Grail. He knew the Grail was running everything. The cold view knows Christianity. And he was like, oh, the only hope is that somebody will find the Grail and show it to the world, and people will know what's going on so we can have a decent world and we can behave in the way Christ is through. And be honest, but right now the church can never use Christ's name again to finish, because you can't devil worship eating people's brains for 1,000 years, defying Christ, and then say, oh, well, we're going to start being good now. But right now they're communing with Hitler. You can see Hitler. They can't, and they eat people's brains.
All right, thanks for calling. So you have to eat people's brains in order to see Christ and immortality, I guess. I'm not eating people's brains. I got a thing about meat. I like chicken. That's about it. Although I did have a pretty good steak the other day. Okay, so again, we are talking about eating people's brains.
Who wanted to take this call?
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Right on. Keep up the good work, man.
It's a really nice evening. And I kind of listened to the last half of the conversation, so I missed the whole first part of the conversation that I guess was focusing on Jeffrey Epstein taking down other elites.
Yeah, well, that was just kind of the topic of the title of the video. I was just trying to. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm listening. You were trying to do what?
No, I was just trying to start a conversation. You know, it's basically just putting a thought out there and seeing if it goes anywhere.
It was a great place to go. And that call 2 calls ago really, really caught my attention, you know. And as I listened to the conversation, I just realized that some of these Democratic and Republican ideologues, like, they have no fucking sense of humor, man. I mean, they just don't have a sense of humor. And he was wrong on so many issues, like, you know, on the drug war and defining what freedom is. And, you know, like that famous John Steinbeck quote that says, you know,
many Americans like are just dissatisfied millionaires because they imagine they can make $1 million someday really kind of resonated with me because that isn't actually true in this country. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. You know, you're kind of born into your economic strata, and a few individuals are fortunate enough to go forward. But for the most part, like, you know, you're going to live in your economic strata for the rest of your life. It's
Right.
an illusion to imagine you'll get rich someday.
Right. I think you're absolutely on the mark there.
Yeah, so I don't know how we can harness that energy, like by educating other folks about like their situation, you know. But like one of the books that I found recently, and there's a lot of information, you know, linking to the author. The guy's name is Peter Phillips, and he teaches political science at Sonoma State University, and he also is one of the creators of Project Censored, right, which is an institution that monitors the media. And he wrote a book called Giants: The Global Power Elite. And I'd really encourage your readers to just check out the blurb and follow up the lead because basically talks about all the folks who actually run the world. That's the hedge funds and the money managers, there's like Vanguard and BlackRock, and they're multinational, transnational entities. They don't live in one country per se. And I think that this episode with Epstein,
Yeah.
bring it back to your point here, it could be positive in this respect. It could make people think about who are the people who actually run the world instead of just falling into salacious gossip and falling into this like, oh, so-and-so, Bill Clinton's dick looks like that or yada, yada. Instead of doing that, right, focusing on the individuals who actually have the power in the world and are controlling our fates. That's what I wanted to share with you.
Right, that's an excellent point. I really like I think that there needs to be a whole lot more focus like that for sure.
Yeah, about like just the reality of where we stand with our political power and our economic power as working people in the United States. And I always agree with you when you talk about, you know, God and religion and organized religion, particularly being a distraction to people and kind of like diluting their perspective to such a degree that you can't even have an intelligible conversation with them. And I commend you for that very much.
Right on. Well, thanks very much. What's your name?
My name is Chris.
Hey, Chris, it's good to hear from you. Where are you calling from?
I live in Olympia, Washington.
Is it raining there too?
Man, it rained all day. I don't know. But, you know, I appreciate it so much because we had such really hot, dry weather recently.
Yeah.
Last night when the rain, you know, hit the roof, opened the windows, it felt really exhilarating and just refreshing. Everything was clean. So I'm appreciative of the rain today.
I always like the rain, yeah.
Me too. Hey, so I'll send you like $10, man. It's not much, but I'll send you something because I've sent you things before, money, and I appreciate your work, and I know other people do as well, and I hope that other folks also just, you know, take the initiative to send you a few dollars.
Right on, Chris.
One thing I wanted to add though,
yeah, go ahead.
Is your live call-in shows I think are really amazing. They allow people to kind of get inside your brain, the person who puts these amazing videos up on the internet that we all watch, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. But I really would appreciate it if you could do like once a week, get some written material, like articles and commentary in a written form that is in a sense easier for people to go to reference points.
Yeah.
And just talk about, you know, your anti-imperialist positions, talk about, you know, your libertarian views on the drug war and so forth, in kind of a format where people can reference articles and it isn't just like, you know,
okay, well,
me just sharing my opinion with you, Mox News.
Well, okay, that makes sense. What if what you're saying is if I was to use little clips like I was talking about Mike Pompeo earlier, if I was to use a clip of Mike Pompeo from his speech yesterday saying, you know, in 2003, since 2003, the Christian population in Syria and Iraq have immensely dropped. If I take that clip, as opposed to like taking an actual article from the internet from somebody's website, I take that clip from Mike Pompeo saying that, and then I stop it there and I say, you know, what did happen in 2003, and we look at
Exactly.
yeah,
Provide historical context
yeah,
to what you're talking about in video clips. And yeah, I agree. Video clips would work in lieu of like excerpts from articles on the internet. Yeah, video clips is your format. That's why I agree. That's why I agree with you.
yeah.
But nevertheless, like if you did like say 12 minutes of commentary and then you cross-reference those like 5 to 20-second video clips and put them in the context in the format, and then after you did that with your evidence, open the floor to calls.
Huh.
I would think you would draw more people. You know, it's a traditional format, but you obviously are aware of these issues and articulate them, and we appreciate the live calling shows. And I'm wasting time on your line.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm really glad you called, Chris. I really appreciate it. Chris, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I really appreciate you calling, and I appreciate the input. I feel like I should probably be doing clips like that where I said the reason that I'm hesitant about it is because it's like you said, referencing articles as opposed to your opinion, and the thing is, I've never really wanted to be like, like Sean Hannity is, like, he tells you what you're supposed to think. I hate the idea of telling people what they're. That's why I post these clips, is so I can say, look what happened, and what do you think about that?
As a person who like comments on other forums besides this format,
sure,
I can tell you that I have referenced your videos in the past in comments, like you posted embedded in threads and other, and I'm just saying that the video itself is just information.
Right.
Whether it's transcribed into a text format or not isn't really relevant. I mean, it's the information itself that's really the most relevant part of the video. So you could do it in a video format and just take those clips, but in a traditional format. But just one last point, it would also give you a rebuttal to these people, these insane, asinine people who call you on the phone and critique you for saying all you do is repost, blah blah.
Yeah.
Blah.
Yeah.
That becomes annoying because they don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
One. But secondly, you would have a rebuttal. You could say,
Yeah.
no, that actually isn't true. I have my live call-in shows in addition to.
But I do have the live call-in shows. I mean, I do, and I do have video monologues that I do on a pretty regular basis, also. And I have many times responded to people like Amy Schumer and Donald Trump and everybody else, Bernie Sanders, without hesitation. I just come back. Let me know. I just want to pick your brain on this one thing. See, it's just, for me, it just all comes back to this thing where I don't want to be Sean Hannity. I don't want to be Alex Jones. I don't want to be this guy who's telling you what you're supposed to think. And because it boils down to, with those guys, if you don't think what I tell you you're supposed to think, you're a sheep, or you're asleep, or some other unworthy person. You know what I mean? And I don't want to. I'm not here to tell you what you're supposed to think. I don't want to be another one of those guys. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe in these times that we live in, we need people who actually are willing to express their political opinions in a format like yours.
Yeah.
And you do, as you noted. But I'm just saying that of all the ways that you express yourself on your YouTube channel, I find like when you actually have a real political commentary, like when you were defending valiantly, I might add, the right answer on the drug war with the person a couple calls ago about like the violence in South America and the militarism in South America. I mean, that is a political point. And in fact, like that is appreciated. I think the callers appreciate that. So I'm going to get off the phone because I see there's a lot of other folks that do want to call you.
Okay,
but
Chris.
I do appreciate the work, and I will send you $10 like I said.
Thank you, Chris. I wouldn't ask if I didn't need it. I promise.
No, it's welcome.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
For your program.
All right, stay cool, man. And that's the thing. That's Chris. Chris is gonna kick down $10. He's awesome. He'll be the second person. The first person kicked down $4, which is very nice too. Hello, caller.
Hey, Roxy, how you doing?
I am good. Who is this?
I'm not gonna tell you. I can't believe it. I gotta hand it to you, dude. You've been at it a long time, and you're still there. You know that?
They've really tried to get rid of me too, you know.
Honest to God, man, every single turn they were after you. Everybody else complains, YouTube's throwing me off, they're trying to get rid of me, but boy, I can't believe you're still there. You're still there.
And
It's gotta be about 2006 at least.
yeah, no, it was earlier. It was earlier because I covered the first election. The first election that I covered, presidential election, was Bush and Kerry, and that was
Oh my God,
2004.
2004,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So
And that's when all your stuff was, they used to link you on Drudge, on Huffington Post, and everybody was linking your stuff all the time.
you remember?
And never once did those people ever reach out. Never once.
No,
Oh, good God. But you're still there.
you know, and it's just because I'm trying to do the right thing, man. You know,
You've been consistent, that's for sure. You've been consistent.
and that's the thing too, is that I think that a lot of people aren't consistent. You know what I mean? They just somebody new comes into power, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, this is, you know, because you can see if you look at the clips from 5 years ago and the clips now, the people aren't consistent on what they're saying. They're completely backtrack.
No. It's gotten very weird. It's like, they scream in pain as they whip you. You know?
Yeah.
That's what it's turned into. And the lies are so blatant now. It's just so bizarre.
And
like they don't care.
I think I don't think they don't care, and I think it's partially because of this, like, this like 5-second attention span that people have now. Is that they can say whatever, they can say whatever and plant that seed in your brain, and you've moved on at the speed of light, to the next 27 videos. But that seed's in there, and then at the inappropriate time it comes out, and like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, and I do appreciate what you do because, and I don't care what. I think that was Coach Red Pill who called you. That's what I think it was. And I'm almost certain it was. And if it was him, if you're still listening, come on, fess up. Come on.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Come on. But nonetheless, I just. It is the consistency, and it is what I think what you're trying to say, and some people don't get like Coach Raquel, if that's who it was, is there's a certain amount of gratitude for what people do. Nobody's going to go out there, get a camera, get a producer, create the internet. That's what he's asking you to do. He's telling you, go create the internet. No, this is like, you got to understand what creativity is. Creativity is, the tools that you have, and you go in your reach and you say, okay, I'm going to put this on the palette, and I'm going to put that on the palette, and I'm going to put this on the canvas, and I'm going to put it all together, and there's my painting. This is your art, and your art is saying, this is an interesting, take on this particular situation. People should be interested in this because this is going to be buried. This is going to be the page 8 story that should be on page 1. And that is where the value is, and it is sifting through a lot of crap. My God, there's no way I would do it. There's just no way. And I would just be very lucky, it's just because I'm pretty much conscientious and I like current events, so I'll find things, but there's no way I could do half without, supporting it by, some of the stuff that you put out, especially a lot of the C-SPAN stuff, I'm not going to sit there and watch 3 hours of the Senate to finally find that one spot. That's the important thing.
Well, I watch it. I watch it mostly on fast forward, but there's like more than 3 hours. It's like 36 hours or so of the C-SPAN a day. So actually,
cartoon voice going off in your head, right?
That's all I watch when I'm not watching the C-SPAN or the news. I have the cartoons on. Because it's just easy, it's not some drama. I can't watch that stuff. It makes me laugh like crazy. My roommate loves those dramas, you know, the Queen of the South and Animal Kingdom and stuff like that. And I just laugh at completely inappropriate times, just out loud as hard as possible. And it's like, I think I just throw off his whole story time, you know?
Yeah, well, different strokes for different folks, I guess. But we really need to be aware of what's going on, because they wouldn't be able to get away with half of the stuff they get away with if people were just more tuned in and interested in what's happening. Like, you know, if you think about the Epstein thing, you know, this happened, 2008, 9, 10 is when he was convicted. And nobody said anything, and all of a sudden now it's a big deal.
Yeah, this Epstein thing is not new in any way, shape, or form. This is like a 20-year event, basically.
Yeah, you're right. This has been going on a long time, and apparently, I mean, there's a lot of different conspiracies and theories going on about this situation, from him being Mossad, working with the FBI, but then you have the Whitey Bulger thing, and he worked with Mueller, and now all of a sudden he's dead. So you kind of figure that, unless Israel saves this guy and brings him home, he's going to pretty much be, a dead man walking somewhere.
Well,
now, people are saying that they're going to put him in Otisville, and that doesn't seem fair.
Well,
but
I think that they just, they say that they lock these guys away into some little hole, and then they just fucking, they say, okay, you're in the hole, and then they let them go wherever it is that they want to go. You know what I mean? They're not in the hole. They just say that they're in the hole, and then they're off partying in some private place where you don't even know exists.
So you're kind of like talking about the Ken Lay story.
Yeah.
He disappears. He's buried, but he's actually really in Paraguay.
Right. Living the life. No extradition.
Yeah, maybe.
It makes more sense than some billionaire who's connected to all the other billionaires, like winding up being the one billionaire that doesn't get out of jail free.
Yeah. Well, that's the travesty of what that whole setup. And I know there are people who are suspicious of Trump. Of course, Bill Clinton. How can anybody believe that guy? Oh, I don't know him.
Yeah.
I have never met Mr. Epstein.
No, I don't know anything about WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when he said that, man. I don't know anything about WikiLeaks.
So I don't know if I trust Trump, but you're talking about the two-party system. There's no such thing. It's one party. Let's just get over that by now.
Yeah,
no.
they just two different groups talking to different people. You know what I mean? There's the people over here that are like, oh, we hate everything, and then there's the people over here that are like, oh, we have to love everyone. Whatever.
Yeah, but so you got these three things. You got the banks, you got the media, and you got the politicians, right? The banks control the economy. So in the banks, you got the Republicans and the Democrats. The Democrats are always in debt to the bank. So the Republican bankers, right, or the bankers are Republican, they give money to the Republicans, right? So they got the politicians all sewn up there, and they control the economy because they got the Fed. They're on the Fed, right? I mean, Jamie Dimon, he's in trouble now for trying to create a new cryptocurrency with drug money, Coke dollars.
Well, it makes sense, You ever watch a Trailer Park Boys?
No, I don't have a TV.
So I think they have everything on YouTube. I thought they had everything on YouTube because they own all their own stuff. So, but they made a bunch of hash, and they were making hash coins and like just handing out hash coins to everybody. It was a beautiful thing.
Well, you know what they say, the hash signers now. We won't go there, but yeah, but you have these bankers, and they basically own the two parties, right? They got the economy set up, and they're all invested in the media, right?
Right.
So if you've got the communications of the people, right, you control their airwaves, what they see, what they hear. You control their laws by owning the politicians, and you control the economy. Well, what else is left? What kind of citizenry do you have now? Nothing. You're just a bunch of dupes and slaves. And you know what Huey Long said? You remember that? The high Papa Lorem, low Papa Hiram. Remember that speech?
No.
Go
ahead.
When he said when he got to Congress, he said that, he says like that old medicine show where you got the one guy who says well, this medicine is good for what ails you, and this other medicine is similar, but it's a little bit different. And one is skinning you from the ear on down to the ankle, and the other one's from the ankle on up to the ear. So that's what he found out when he got into Congress. And there's no character I love more than Huey Long. He could have been president. He should have been president. He would have beat FDR in a heartbeat. But Ross Perot, God bless him, he should have won too. I mean, you go back and look at those old videos, right?
Yeah.
The debates, and you listen to what he says, and you just go, "Holy cow, he was right about the sucking sound." It's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So, these things are important. Those little clips are really important to have. And if they're not being supplied in that sense, if that information is not there, people just forget. They just forget. And I think that's what they want to do. That's what I think YouTube's trying to do. They're trying to shut a lot of people down.
They are shutting a lot of people down. They are being successful at that. They've been trying to shut me down forever.
Yes, well, we know that.
Yeah.
So have you decided to transfer over to BitChute at all?
I looked at BitChute. I think I looked at BitChute. I'm not sure about BitChute. I'm gonna have to look at it again. I was looking at the D Live, where the PewDiePie guy went to the D Live. He has 100 million subscribers on YouTube. He's like, "Fuck YouTube, I'm going to D Live." So I was looking at that because he seems like he kind of got something going on. He must
The D Live will suck the energy out of your CPUs because it's mining.
Huh.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how they make their money, because they're mining a bunch of coins.
Okay.
But the BitChute, there's something that you can do that's pretty easy. Once you get an account there, there's a number, or there's a code somewhere in your profile.
Yeah.
And you take that code, you put it into, or you get the code from YouTube, and you put it in there, and everything you upload to YouTube goes automatically there.
Oh, so that would be awesome.
Yeah, so you don't have to, everything new.
That would be awesome. You put that code
and it happens automatically, and then you don't have to do anything. Even the description gets uploaded.
That would be awesome.
Sometimes it might take a little longer,
but
you don't have to do anything.
I will take a much harder look at that.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love that.
I'd love to get in on your Hangout.
Oh, well, that sounds like fun. Yeah, I would like that too.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've been watching you for years, and I send what I send when I can. And, yeah, I do think that you're valuable. I think that other guy is just full of himself. If it's who I think it is, it kind of makes sense. He didn't come forward, did he? No. But, yeah, so you're on Twitter, right?
Yeah. Mox News.
I'll direct message you there.
Okay.
We can talk. Because we should have talked a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Well,
I'll let you go.
Okay, thanks for calling. Okay, bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Again, wonderful, wonderful people. Our Mox News viewers.
Your caller just hung up. Press 2 to call unknown.
No. Okay. So again, wonderful, smart, funny, happy people, and this is why we do this. This is and Chris donated like he said he was going to. So that makes 2 donations, one for $4. Chris donated 11. Anybody can beat that? Can anybody beat that? So yeah, I do it for the money. All 15 bucks. Yeah, I do it for the money. That makes so much sense. Wouldn't you do it? I mean, wouldn't you for 15 bucks? Wouldn't you come out here and spend hours and hours and hours on end for 15 bucks? Isn't that worth it to you? I do it for the money. I do it because it's what's right. I do it because there are people like that you've heard on the calls tonight who are smart, intelligent, funny, happy people who know this work is of value. And hello, caller.
Yeah. Hey, Mox, it's me again.
Oh, good.
And so the reason why you'll do it for only $15 is because you have nothing else going on. You have no other source of income.
Right,
So,
because I couldn't go make $20 an hour somewhere else for sure. That makes so much sense.
You should.
You should. Everybody should. Everybody should go and work their ass off for nothing.
Not for nothing. It's for something, man.
Right. I'm doing something for something that's important to not only me. Clearly, you can hear that it's important to other callers. So why can't you just fucking recognize?
Well, I'll say this, Mox, and again, because I hear your other callers, and maybe you misunderstand. If people find value, like you say in your videos, if people find value in what you're doing and they want to donate to you, I think that's great. Okay, I'm all for free market capitalism. Okay,
you don't sound like that.
Donate to Mox.
That's not the way you sounded the whole time you've been talking. You haven't sounded anything like that. How many years? How many years have you been watching this video? How many years?
I'll tell you why.
How many years have you been watching Mox News? How many years? How many?
Because you make videos.
How many years have you been watching Mox News?
On and off. I've been watching your channel since before Google bought YouTube.
And you're absolutely good with never giving anything back.
Well, I used to tell you on your, I don't comment anymore. I don't engage in that kind of thing. But I used to comment on your page many years ago, and I used to tell you the same things I'm telling you now.
Get a haircut and get a job, you fucking hippie. Yes, I know. I've heard it since the beginning.
Listen, it's stop begging. Like when you make videos and you're like screaming at people like you were doing with me earlier, talking about you serve me, I serve you, and you said.
For
ridiculous, man.
Over a decade.
You're not serving anybody.
Of course I am. For over you personally, for well over a decade. Yeah, it's hilarious. I know. And you give nothing back except for shit.
Well, I mean,
that's real fair. That's a real fair deal, isn't it? And yet I continue on to serve you for your shit. Thanks so much.
Well, listen.
No thanks. Okay, so as I was saying, good people, smart people, happy people, fun people, generous people. Okay, and that's what we've attracted. And that guy just refuses to acknowledge that I have served him for well over a decade. He's been here since before Google. He's been watching Mox News since before Google bought YouTube. That's how long he's been watching Mox News. And yet, I'm worthless to him. I do nothing for him. Been watching Mox News for over a decade, and I do nothing for him. That makes so much sense. You're brilliant. Okay, so I guess we're done here. My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. I have been serving this community since 2004. At least 15 years. Since before 2004. At least 15 years. Okay? Daily, I am here serving you. I simply ask if you could give something back. That would be really awesome of you. That would really be awesome. that would make you really good person as compared to somebody who acts like an ungrateful idiot. So, thanks to all the people who helped Mox News stick around for 15 years. Thanks to all the callers today, even the freaking idiot. And we'll do this again soon because again, I really like that, you know, everybody is smart and funny and happy, except for this one guy who wants to insist that I give nothing to him. You know, even him, he was smart and he was funny, but he acts like an idiot. So, and maybe he does it. He said, you know, it seemed to make him happy just to trigger me, you know. So maybe that's it. Maybe he just wants to trigger me. He's just a troll, which is really sad. I mean, I give you nothing and you give me shit. That's that's fair. For over a decade. And I give nothing of value. For over your time must be worth nothing. If you've been watching for over a decade and you see nothing of value that I'm giving you. Oh well. I hope that most of you are able to see beyond that. And thank you very much to, again, everybody, to Chris. And who else gave? Who else gave something back? Greg, Chris and Greg. Thanks very much, Greg and Chris. And everybody else who tuned in. And all the callers. Hello, caller.
Moxie.
Yes.
So why are you having a conversation with me? You hang up and you continue to talk.
Because you won't acknowledge that my hard work is of any value. So why should I? I've served you for over a decade, and you refuse to acknowledge that I even serve you. Why would I want to spend 1 second on the phone with you? Okay? You're just a troll, apparently. There's nothing of value here, and yet you come here on a daily basis for over a decade. You're a troll. That's sad. I like talking to the happy, nice people. All right. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Again, we'll do this again soon, and hopefully we will have a little bit more productive. Hopefully I'll make more than $15 next time. That would be nice. So thanks for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. One of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool until that day.